What's up, everybody? I am James. This is Living for Crits, and I have assembled a super squad today of people to play Stealing Stories for the Devil by Monte Cook Games in one of the very few actual plays that I decided to put together because everyone knows I don't do a lot of actual plays, but when I do, I like to do them with cool people, which is awesome that we have so many cool people here. If you don't know, Stealing Stories for the Devil is part of the Devil Made Us Do It Kickstarter, which is by Monte Cook Games, running from now until Friday the 13th, Friday, August 13th, which that's either a very lucky date or an unlucky date, but hopefully lucky date and everything. Because full disclosure, my wife works for Monte Cook Games, and obviously I want it to be a lucky date. So yeah, we've been great people here. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're playing off the primer and a few extra rules that I've kind of like figured out or got through Jen, but for the most part here, you can do everything we're doing with the primer right now and try this game out. But before we go into all that, let's go around the room and see who is here. And we're going to start with my good friend, Mark. Mark, introduce yourself and who you're playing.
I am Mark. I am Jim's co-host on the Glow Burn podcast. I am playing Absinthe Hennessy Duar, a sleeper plotter.
Cool. And we'll get into all that in a second of what that means. So next up is Ray, who has no voice.
I have no voice. Hey, I'm Ray, and I am going to play Tommy Thorne today, who is a sleeper schemer. And I don't have a podcast or other thing to promote.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we got to get on that.
All right, so next up is Maitreyi.
Hi, I'm Maitreyi. I'm playing Aishwarya Anger, who goes by Ash. She's a sleeper planner. I am currently working through a couple of different digital content creation things, and when I get them up to their final form, I will share them with James to put in the description of this video.
Just in case this is in the future you're watching this, and you have them and know what they are. Awesome. Will.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Will. This is Syriac. We are playing Washington Jefferson, who is a Scion planner, and I am a co-host of Ray's podcast.
Hey, what?
Ooh, congratulations.
Hey.
All right, and finally, the constant, I think in all my actual plays, is Andy.
Yes, I'm Andy. You may know me from here on this channel. So if I was anything in his actual play, I'm here. But I'm playing Chuck Lanigan, a Scion plotter.
Which is an interesting character, since not only is your character here in like effectively the 45th century or whatever, back in time to the 21st century, but Chuck Lanigan was also featured in our East Texas University campaign and our Strange campaign, correct?
Yes, he's in the Strange for a long time. He's a long time state agent.
Yeah, this character just keeps going on and on. Or there's just so many Chuck Lanigans running around in the world.
He is Legion.
If you,
they're all variants.
so first
I
off,
was gonna say.
first off, if you have no idea what Stealing Stories for the Devil is, you want to give this a pause and go check that out. You know, the link for the Kickstarter will be below, but just a quick run through of what this setting is. The party here represent members of the crew of the Celeste, a generational starship that left Earth in the 39th century, and for like 500 or 600 years traveled through time, space, and reality, and then went back to Earth, but went back to the 21st century, which is kind of weird. Some of the characters on this generational ship were people that slept for much of the journey. In our game, we're calling them sleepers. Some of these characters, some of these folks in the ship, they were awake the entire time, and then their great grandparents were awake, and their grandparents, and then their parents, and whatnot. And then you end up with these scions that have generation for generation been awake for this trip. Now, everyone in this story is a liar. And that is the big cool part about this game. In Stealing Stories for the Devil, reality itself is at stake and has been starting to tear itself apart. But some individuals have the ability to shred reality and create a new reality. And they're always successful doing so, however, often at their own peril. And there are three types of liars: plotters, and plotters tell lies that are about the past, schemers who tell lies about people, and planners who can tell lies about objects. And as you heard my cast here go through what their characters were, they were a combination. So Absinthe was a sleeper plotter, so has been asleep for a very long time, woke up and realized that, wow, they have the ability to change the past with their lies. So that's the characters in play. This story takes part in a heist format. The Celeste is somewhere near Earth. The Celeste can detect that something is happening to reality, and the crew of the Celeste have to send their liars down to Earth to figure out what is going on. Our story today will take place in 3 acts. The first act, which we're going to do together, you'll see this, it's collaborative. I have scraps of an adventure, probably a few more scraps than needed, that will just about what's going to happen in the game, what has to be stolen, and from where. And let me mute my Outlook file because it just keeps dinging, and that's just embarrassing. So I have those scraps. In Act 1, I tell the party in the mission briefing room on the Celeste what they have to do, and then they add details to the game. In Act 2, we start the heist. We start the adventure, and we start doing that until there's a turn, and we hit Act 3. And in Act 3, everything comes crashing together with an awesome, awesome conclusion. So this should be a lot of fun. We have just been with the rules for a few days. We will probably screw them up, but that's okay. This is supposed to be a zero prep game anyway. This is, I guess you get what you pay to watch, and this YouTube channel is free. So with that, there will be questions too. So my players need a quick run through prior to this of the rules, but they're going to ask questions, which is good because, Yins probably have the same questions that we're going to have here. Okay, so why not, right? So with that, is everyone ready? Cool. All right, you're all on board the Celeste, which essentially, just like all of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movies, resembles the inside of an Apple store. And everything is totally cleaned and totally pristine. And you've gathered together in this mission briefing room, which has a screen behind it. It looks identically like Andy's background screen there, which I'm going to say is probably some Men in Black 3 action going on there, right? Less.
I have no idea. It was just
it looks Men in Black 3, but there's no Tommy Lee Jones. All right. So you enter into the scene, and you know what? I had no name for him. So Lee Jones comes into the room. Lee Jones is the your mission officer who is prepared to send you down to Earth. You are in orbit above the Earth aboard the Celeste, and you all work together. You all know that you've been gathered together to collect something, and the mission planner just goes to the edge of the room, and he clicks a button, and all you hear is, "Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name.
Oh my God, is that a ship alarm?
Feels like home." And he hits stop.
Oh, it sounds like a prayer.
And Lee says, "You may or may not recognize this. This is Madonna's Like a Prayer album. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you fall in that musical genius or 80s has been, there is a copy of Like a Prayer, a cassette disc, that right now on Earth is causing a zone of improbability that we need to deal with. So that is why we've gathered today." And he starts going through a link, like a PowerPoint presentation, because in the 39th century, PowerPoint is still a thing, and it's just as boring and dull as it is now. And he holds up a sign and he says, so I'm going to do some screen share. By the way, folks, if you're not watching my actual plays, this is as techie as we get as I go ahead and just screen share a picture, okay? We're in the year 2021 on Earth. Of course, all of the conventions from 2020, as well as the Olympics, clung to the same year. So the 2020 Olympics is in 2021. Well, the 2020 Pittsburgh International Auto Show is in 2021 also. Go figure. There is a cassette disc located in a car at the 2020 Pittsburgh International Auto Show. And this cassette is a problem. You see, if played, whoever listens to it will instantly be able to see all of the entirety of their existence from birth to death. We don't know if it has to do with the song itself. Obviously, Like a Prayer and the rest of the songs in the album are still being played on Earth and haven't messed with anyone's lives. However, this particular cassette is played, anyone who listens to it will see and will have unraveled the entirety of their existence from birth to death. It is imperative that you, our best liars that we have, travel to Earth, travel to Pittsburgh in 2021, mid COVID-19, and get this cassette tape and bring it back, and make sure no one listens to that tape. So let's plot this out. So at this point, all right, you guys know what you have to steal, all right? And as in Act 1, we will collaboratively build pieces of this out. So that's the map. You can all see the map of the Pittsburgh International Auto Show and downtown Pittsburgh itself. So you can all start giving me details, and whatever you tell me, I have to work into this game. Typically, what's supposed to happen is that I take a 5 to 10 minute break after they tell me the details to figure this out. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go right into it.
What time of year is it?
You tell me.
What's a big parade? Let's say it's the 4th of July weekend.
Man, that's crazy. 4th of July weekend. We have a very busy city 4th of July weekend. Pay no attention to February 12th to 15th. Ignore that.
That's what it was in 2020. They had to move it.
Exactly. Give me some more info.
So you said this is on an audio cassette, right?
Correct.
He said a cassette disc, which
It's
I was going to ask for clarification on.
I'm sorry. So it's an audio cassette. I almost said cassette disc. It's an audio cassette that's located inside a car.
Isn't that already out of date for the time period?
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
Which is why it's especially strange that it's in a Tesla.
Ooh.
So, Mark, just so you know, when you try to say it's in a Tesla, you can't get that word out.
The word Tesla?
Nope. So obviously the car must mean something as well.
Huh.
Oh.
Hmm.
Maybe it's not in a Tesla. Maybe it's in a Super Impreza.
You can't say what car it is.
Oh no!
However, if Mark, if you want to say it's near the Teslas or it's being featured by Tesla, you can say that.
Let me think about it.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely like if it's in a car, it's for sure in a car that's been souped up to be a rally car, which is and the rally cars are all in Hall A.
I'll tell you this, Mark. I'm going to say that let's do this. The car is there on behalf of Tesla. Tesla has something to do with the car. All right. And it's in Hall A. And
but it has a cassette.
And Will is now an alien.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
But it has a cassette deck, so it has to be like a vintage, like an antique car.
Doesn't have to be.
No, it could be a retro callback or a movie tie-in.
Well,
so
yeah,
I'm gonna.
that's true. Yeah.
Can I say that where it's being presented is where that they're doing video game tie-ins or Something to do with video games in Hall A.
Yeah.
It's a Mario Kart.
Oh, can I additionally say that the Western Pittsburgh are the folks responsible for catering the event. So there's actually a direct hallway that's really wide and open from the Western Pittsburgh to Hall A directly
You-
underground.
Definitely can. You want to say it's underground?
Yeah.
You definitely can say that. Underground passageway.
Yeah, and it's wide and concrete and has like big doors.
Yep.
But it also has train tracks.
Wow.
Yes, to roll the dollies down. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. What other details we have here? So we know it has something to do with the car is there through Tesla. Okay. And it's in Hall A, and that there is an underground passageway through the Weston Pittsburgh.
Andy, I feel like I cut you off before, dude. I'm sorry if I did.
Did you?
Did I?
I
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
You may have. I just if there was a thought there, it's gone now.
And
Just meta. I somehow always knew that Madonna would be responsible for undoing reality. I don't know why that sounds right, but it does.
So, these convention centers in big cities are huge, and so this auto show is not taking up the entire thing.
okay.
AAA is also there, which is the American Amish Association.
Oh my
It's very confusing for congoers.
Which hall are they in?
They're in that building space that's directly below A.
A below A is A. That's just
It's two.
Multiple
Hall D
levels.
then.
yeah. So pick it up to Hall D.
Yeah, Hall D.
Yeah, they're in Hall D because they're not allowed to use escalators.
Right.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Well, this
yeah,
is an
there you go.
association of people that sell things to the Amish, not the Amish.
Gotcha.
So it's like the latest model buggy, but it's the buggies
Nice.
Amish would use.
Yeah, but the Amish people are coming to visit, so they can't use the escalators and the
That's true,
elevators
yeah.
and stuff.
The GC8 buggy.
They can't use technology.
This
They
is-
tried
this
to get the convention center to turn the AC off for them, but that was a no-go.
Yeah, so they just turned the heat on in Hall D.
But what that means is that there's individual temperature control in each of the halls. It's not
Oh, I
just
like
like
it.
it's not just like one control for the whole thing.
Can
I'm gonna have to talk to you guys about Amish people after this game's over. That's how that works. But that's okay.
It is today.
Sorry to our Amish viewers.
We'll treat them with respect here. The buggies are okay.
Speaking of temperature, this is slightly warmer than usual
Oh,
for the
okay.
July weekend for Pittsburgh. So it's 120 outside.
That's crazy warm. All right.
But the
outside.
The air conditioner, however, is broken and it's blasting like full blast. They can't get it to stop, so it's 60 degrees inside.
I hope you all use this to your advantage here.
So even though Hall A has pretty active security that works on 3 shifts a day, the hallway that leads from the Western Pittsburgh to Hall A is actually really minimally overseen with some really basic cameras in the hallway, because it's neither the hotel nor the convention center is really invested in security for sort of between them.
Gotcha. Okay, so minimal security in
the hallway, but Hall A has pretty active security that operates on shifts.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, and in addition to the normal Hall A security, the Tesla force is here, and they
The
elite
private insurance
commando.
guys.
Yeah, elite commando insurance guys.
You're gonna hate that you said that. Tesla Force is here.
Yeah.
Tesla force.
And all of the keys for all of the display cars are being kept in an office down off of Concourse C.
Okay. I think we have a lot
Also-
of good information here. Oh, Andy, your last one, Andy. What do you got?
One more thing.
One more
I would
thing.
say that the Tesla prepared in advance for this, and they actually sponsored the hallway between the Westin and the convention center by the Boring Company. It was
The what company?
the Boring Company.
Yeah,
boring
the
company.
company that does the drilling.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do the Hyperloop stuff. But they made the
Boring
tunnel.
like now, not boring like verb.
Boring
Yeah,
like
like-
drilling a hole.
Okay.
Or adjective, I mean. But yeah.
I didn't name the company.
All right. So just to be clear,
Elon.
it's 120-degree 4th of July weekend in Pittsburgh, right? And somehow the cassette tape is in a car, which the car does have some kind of effect on this now that you're feeling this, right? But Tesla has the car. They have the car here. It's also in the video game section of Hall A. The Westin Hotel has an underground passageway, which no one travels, but it has tracks and advertisements for the Boring Company. The Amish
got the tunnel.
Association of buggy sales is here also. The temperature control is kind of off whack, but it's here. Oh yeah, the Tesla Force is here as well.
And the keys are for all the cars, all of them.
Are in Concourse.
Concourse
office
C
off
and
of
off-
Concourse C.
C. Okay. All right. We are going to commence with Act 2. All right. Their characters are all teleported. So you see the map here and you see how the city block twists to the right here. There's actually a hotel up here and there's a restaurant in the basement of the hotel called the Commoner that you all just pop out in the bathroom of the Commoner in full whatever your outfit looks like, which right now you look kind of like you're just dressed in downtown chic. You are 2 blocks away from the convention center.
We take the T.
So we're inside at the moment.
Inside, outside of this, they can't teleport you inside the exact location where things are going on. You are going to be essentially within, like outside of this zone of improbability, if you want to call it, this tear in reality. You can't be teleported right inside it. You have to appear somewhere nearby.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead.
I got nothing.
I was just gonna say we should just go directly to hallway. And
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so you get out and you start walking down. I think that road is William Penn.
So as soon as we open the door, though, it's 120 degrees slap in the face.
Heat blasts you, and you see that you are out in the street, and it is absolutely sweltering.
It's a good thing I brought my personal mister.
I grew up near the engines. I didn't sleep through this whole thing. This is nothing.
It is a heat wave, and as you look upon the convention center, it looks a bit different than you would typically see it if you were a Pittsburgh native, in that there is a lot of barricades and security up around the convention center. So I'm going to throw a twist. I'm heightening the security here due to COVID restrictions. Tesla Force is in full regalia, has really restricted any access in. And there is a big sign that says, it's just Elon Musk, and he's holding a little sign that says at capacity. So the big sign is Elon Musk with a little sign saying at capacity.
Is it the ninjas that were in the space, the shuttle went up into space, the Tesla ship thing?
Those were ninjas?
They were those guys in the suits with the Black Mask song.
You lost me, man. What are you talking about?
Watched
Tesla Force.
Nobody else watched the launch of the
No, we didn't.
Dragon?
I did not watch the launch.
Oh, you should have. It was good.
We're also out of Act 1, so you can't just start saying there's Tesla ninjas unless you're going to lying here.
True. Okay, sorry.
Are people walking around with like badges on lanyards?
Oh yeah, and you can tell that like they have left. We're gonna say it is lunchtime, so the food options really bad. Actually, everyone walking down the exterior is really talking about how the place, all they have inside right now is like, you know, crustless tuna fish sandwiches and Corona beer, and it's terrible.
As bad as that is, come outside and eat it in 120 degrees.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
It goes bad
It's like-
before it reaches your
Is
mouth.
there a worse sandwich option than tuna on a hot day?
That's
Maybe egg
inside.
salad.
Outside, there's a lot of food trucks and stuff and places that cater to people.
Is it lunchtime now? And people like
It is lunch. People are kind of
It is.
passing in and out of the gate.
I
So
think-
there are two streets that run underneath. It's both technically 10th Street or that run underneath the convention center, and you enter the center either through one of these entrances here. You can see my mouse moving here, here. So all underneath this 10th Street, there are food trucks and people are flocking to them to not have to eat tuna or Corona beer.
That's right. We're at the entrance to the.
But you can't get in there because the main entrance, which is, you know, over here, and then they get Fort Duquesne Boulevard, those are blocked off by Tesla Force.
So yeah, and it's kind of crowded outside, right? As everybody comes out to eat their tuna
Very,
fish.
very crowded. There are and the Westin Pittsburgh, just by the way, it's outside. There's no security force around the Westin. It's across the street though from the main center.
All right. So I'm going to come up. I'm going to kind of walk up, you know, behind a group of people that are all standing in line for something, and the clip on the lanyard of the person in front of me pops off, and the lanyard falls to the ground without them seeing it.
So are you doing this as a lie then?
I am lying.
Okay, so they just didn't. Lanyard just doesn't have the full support. Wasn't
They,
it?
you know, they have those little clips that come down to the,
Oh,
to
yeah.
the thing. It just wasn't clipped all the way and just slipped off.
It just pops off. It lands on the ground.
Yeah.
No dice roll needed. It's a kind of a mundane lie. No need. It doesn't hurt you to do so.
So
Did
then as
our
soon as they
character-
step forward, I'll scoop it up, and I'm now Alice Harrison.
Nice. What was that, Ray?
Are our characters aware of all the things that got set up in Act 1, or do we need to discover them?
You know them.
Okay. So I motion over kind of to the back alley of where there's a sewer gate that lets us get into the access tunnel that is under the building.
So you motion to what? You want to go in an alley?
Yeah.
You wanna go in the hotel.
Um,
'Cause in the opening, you guys made the point to say there's an access point between underneath the hotel that gets you into the. You want to go in the sewers. You want a sewer mission? We can give you a sewer mission.
no. I want
Specifically, they gave you a place to
I
go.
want the train tunnel, but that's all the way back at the hotel. So maybe we
hotel
leave
is
that for
right.
later.
If you're here, the hotel is here, so it's
Okay.
you're
So
not-
why don't we go to the hotel and then I can Wash and I can convince any locked doors to open, and maybe you guys can convince any people to escort us.
Well,
when
I have
needed.
badges waiting for us at will call.
Oh.
So
you
maybe we
go.
should go do that.
But we need to still get past the security force.
So, Mark, you want to describe how you have that?
Yeah, so I actually used the ship systems to call yesterday from the ship and set up 5 badges for us at the will call station for today.
Mark, this is a pretty important line. So since it is, I'm going to ask you to try to resist tearing reality a bit. All right.
All right.
We're going to say, though, it's still easy. All right. So you're going to be rolling to resist damage here. You're going to roll a D6.
Mark, don't tear reality.
Okay.
Now, obviously, since a 1 or a 2 is the hurdle, you can't fail, but you can get, since it's an easy, but you can have a success but
Okay.
if you roll a 1.
I rolled a 2.
All right, that is, you hit the hurdle. So yep, they are waiting for you. If you roll a 1, I was going to say there are 4 tickets. It just happens not to be one for you.
Well, thankfully, Wash was able to get one before.
Yeah.
So
So
are some of you going to will call and some of you going into the Weston? Or are you all going to will call?
Well, we all need the badges, right?
Yeah, let's all go to Wilco.
yeah,
Okay.
let's split the party.
You all march yourself up. You got the Ocean's 11 music playing, and you do exactly what happened at Ocean's 11. You all go to the ticket counter and ask for your badges.
Mhm.
So Wash, I'll take the Alice Harris badge if you want.
All right. I was working up this whole persona in my head.
Whole
but
story.
okay.
Yeah.
No, we might still need those. I wouldn't mind trying to clone the or work with you to clone those badges or something so we can use them later.
That sounds good. So we'll just pocket we
Yeah,
pocket an extra badge.
Yep.
You wanted to be a boy named Sue.
Love it.
You make your way
A
up
man named
the hall,
Alice.
which is located just inside. They allow you into the outer, it's an outdoor booth, and you work your way up to the counter, and sure enough, there's no reason for me to roll for any more of this. The young man at the booth asked for your names. You each give whatever name you said Mark was on the badge, and sure enough, you have 5 badges. You now have access into the Pittsburgh International Auto Show.
Sweet. I'm gonna go in because it's hot as heck out here.
You guys make your way down 10th Street and you go into the entrance, and you are blasted by the cold air. The cold air, though, is such a shock to your system from 120 to 60 that I'm going to say this is bad for you guys in your immune system and stuff. So I want everyone to roll a resistance for this. So this could potentially damage you. Okay, this shock to your immune system. So I'm going to call for an average roll here. So whoever, there's an average hurdle. I guess I should know what the hurdle is. I don't tell you. So go ahead and roll. If you have some reason, whether it's a card that you have, a mission card that you want to use, or it's a lie you want to say, or it's a trait or a skill that's going to help you here on this going from one extreme temperature to the other, tell me.
The cards are only one-time use, right? Remind me.
Correct. The card is
Okay.
one-time use.
Then I will just roll.
Can I make the case that being strong, I've got a little bit buffier immune system?
Definitely, you do that and say you get a D8 to your roll.
Oh, can I make the case for intuitive? I know that we're entering a temperature controlled space.
And you're very intuitive, so you're rolling a D10.
I'm quick-witted, so I actually grab one of the security person's jackets off the back of a chair and whip it around my shoulders.
So I'm going to give you a D8 then.
Nice.
Otherwise, it's just a D6, right?
It's a D6.
We did
2.
All right. So whoever rolled a less than a 3, tell me.
3.
Who rolled a 3 and who rolled a 2?
I rolled a 2.
All right, so Ray, you take damage, and you're going to have a damage die, which means you have a blank 10-sided die. Essentially, it's a 10-sided die. Whenever you roll a 1 on a 10-sided die, with every action you do, you have to roll that. There's a 10% chance that it's going to affect your roll. Who rolled the 3? Who rolled the 2? Who rolled the 3? Will, did you roll a 3?
I rolled a 4.
No.
Okay. And we're all good. A 3 would have been you succeeded, but okay.
Wait, I rolled a 1. Does a 1 make a?
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Is that a worse thing?
You're pretty solid.
You're gonna have a fail and okay. So essentially, not only did you fail it, not only you get one of those D10s now associated with you, you have an and. You go through the front door and you just pass out, and you just flop down on the ground and you pass out. And all of a sudden, you all watch as convention center security gets all around Chuck Lanigan, and they start calling to get an ambulance here to get him out of here. What do you all do?
I am jamming the phone. That phone doesn't work. They are not able to call out.
The one guy gets his cell phone And his cell phone, like, so you affect objects, right?
Yep. And
All right,
I
so-
have electronics and machine repair. I'm not
Okay, so he's like, we can't get anyone. Someone get an EMT over here, and they're like, we're going to drive him to the nearest hospital, and they're trying.
Hey, no, he'll be fine. Hey, buddy, he'll be fine. This happens to him all the time. Is there like an office or something that we could just maybe sit him down for a few minutes? It's a blood sugar thing. He just.
I'm gonna rush over and say that I'm a doctor, and
All right, so one of you saying he's going to find one's a doctor. So Ray and Ray first, and then Will. Why are your characters doing that? What do you have to talk your way through this?
So I'm a schemer. So I'm gonna. This is a lie.
Okay, so you're gonna essentially just tell the person you're a doctor.
Yeah.
And, well, so the lie has to be that you say something happens. You could say that the guy thinks that you're a doctor.
Yeah.
You're trying to convince him you're a doctor, but you're actually telling a lie about the person. You could say that he looks at you and you look like a doctor. That's a lie. You can't.
Okay. Yes. So that's exactly what I do. I say a doctor, and immediately in his mind, he doesn't evaluate how I'm dressed or look or anything. He just sees somebody with a.
Oh yeah.
Like I got out of the ER room and just walked in here just in time.
And Will, what were you saying, Will?
I'm lying the old-fashioned way. I have the deception skill.
Sweet. Will, this is going to be, I would say, average. So go ahead and roll for this.
I got 5.
All right. So they tell you that you know what? He's a doctor. You're right. There is a place to take him. Just take the escalator to the top, and the AC is working great up there. And there's water bottles up there. Just take him to the top of the escalator. He'll be fine.
There's not like a quiet office or something we could just sit him down in for a little while, just so he can get his bearings.
That's a good point. Why don't you take him up to room 331? And I'll tell you what. And the one guy he sees you're so trusting, and since you're a doctor, Ray, he hands you an access card to room 331, which is an empty.
Can I? Well, this is happening.
What was that, Andy?
Something about the past. Can I say that while they're trying to deal with me, some lady with like 4 kids shows up to the center, and one of the 12-year-old forgot a mask, and they don't have any extra masks.
You have to go so far. No, you would have to see someone with like that's set up there, and then say that, oh, he forgot his mask. But you can't create a whole story like that here.
I thought that's what I do. I have to look at that again.
You're unconscious though.
You are unconscious though.
Oh, yeah, also that.
Yeah, but I affect the past, so I thought that
He's so
You
good.
can't do it while you're unconscious.
Unconscious.
I would like to lie though.
Okay.
I would like to lie because the card that he thinks is only programmed for 331 is programmed for all access.
That is totally possible. So you've now been given a key card to all the rooms associated with Hall A. So it's going to be 331 through 338. All right. Are you taking him upstairs then?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Carry Chuck Lanigan up the stairs. You're in Concourse A, which is Hall A has all of the exhibit, like all the car exhibits. Concourse A has all the things attached to the car exhibits. All right. So like this is where you would have food. Again, another stand and you see it's full on going on in there. Like you can just smell the tuna fish hitting you here. It's awful. And all the Corona beer, it's terrible.
Well, at least it's cool in here.
Yeah. So you get Andy upstairs, and you're making your way to room 331, and you're kind of getting Chuck Lanigan woke up. Andy, you're now starting to wake up, and it's pretty crowded, even with COVID restrictions. And I'm going to throw another twist at you guys, and there is a bit of a scuffle that breaks out that you are stuck in the middle of. You see, as you come up, someone said video games, right? So there's a video game section of Hall A. Well, those gaming companies that don't sell video games, they're kind of stuck in Concourse A. So you've actually walked yourself right in front of a booth for a tabletop role-playing game. Apparently, Monte Cook Games got the license for the Fast and the Furious Cyber System edition.
No.
And as you're walking by, you're just trying to get Chuck Lanigan through. You don't know who the Monte Cook Games is or whatever, but as you're walking by, you hear a very loud argument between two members of their staff. Essentially, one of them, you think his name is Bruce, is arguing that his version of Talus was so much better in Cypher. The other one is a guy named Sean, and he's saying that his version of Talus, which is 5e, is better. And they start throwing Talus core books at each other, and these are going wide. So there are Talus core books being thrown back and forth. I need you all to tell me how you are dodging this fight between two members of this game company that are throwing Talus core books.
How can you dodge something when the very floor is shaking like that?
Oh, look at that. Are you lying here? Wait.
No, I'm just kidding.
I think there's an earthquake or something.
No, it's all those Talus books hitting the ground.
That's a good point, but I need to know how each of you are getting past this scene. There are like 6-pound books being chucked everywhere.
So as a planner, can I lie to say that they think they're throwing Talus books, but actually they're just throwing little like Talus plushies?
Yes, you can definitely
like little beanie babies.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
They are so proud of themselves for shot putting those things. Oh, look at me, brah.
So the two members of Monte Cook Games, Bruce and Sean, that both of them were initially starting to grab the core books to throw at each other, which would have caused a horrific scene. They each grab the Talus plushie, which is, I guess, little tiny Latorians.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like
with the big eyes.
Like plushy books, like it was so popular that they make like the book replicas that are.
Yeah, it's like those foam stress toys, but it's a little copy of Patolas.
Patolas. All right, the stuffies are thrown, and quickly, cooler minds prevail and sort of get control of the game designers who thought they were
very undignified to be hit by a thrown plushie. So I imagine that calms people down pretty quick.
I walk up and I wrap one arm around each one of them and go, guys, they're both great. I'm going to use my likable ability.
Give me a roll. You're likable, so I'll give you so you have any kind of skills that can match up with this also?
Persuasion.
Tell you what, so go ahead and roll 2d8s and tell me what you get.
Yeah. It's a d8. It's a 7 and a 1.
All right, the 7 is a great success here. Okay, I would say that actually it was not double the hurdle, but it was pretty close. So one gentleman who introduces his name is Monty. He grabs one of the real Talus core books. He opens it and he signs it.
Nice.
He hands it to you. And you realize by its heft that, yeah, this would definitely be an asset.
That would hurt somebody.
Any kind of hand-to-hand combat.
And I throw that into my duffel bag.
There you go.
And I thank him.
You all can make your way up to one of the rooms now upstairs. It's not too far from here to walk yourselves into one of those. So you can hear all of the craziness coming from Hall A. It's all techno music and some video game music. It's pretty intense. The rooms are up one more escalator above Concourse A. I'm sorry, Mark, your mouth started to open, but then it closed.
Yeah, Absinthe is flighty, so she gets distracted amongst the melee of plushy books and everything, and heads over to one of the bars where they're serving the Coronas.
Okay.
But she doesn't want a Corona, and she starts like taking stuff and makes like a fancy mixed drink out of these. Like Coronas and limes and inexplicably tuna fish sandwiches, and she makes these like bizarre, these bizarre drinks that people are like, oh my god, that smells wonderful, and they start flocking over to it.
Well, you are a mixologist, so why don't you give me a roll for that? Unless you're going to tell a lie to make this taste better.
Nope, I will.
It's
briny beer garitas.
I'm also quick-witted. Does that count in terms of being able to throw something together?
I don't know what wit you're using here, but why not? So you'll get a pair of D8s then.
Pair of D8s.
That could be the name of the drink.
Pair of 4s.
All right, I think that I think both of those would count for a success. That people would pay for them. I don't think they're going to think the best drink ever. I mean, it's lime, Corona, and tuna. But
Brine.
It's the water from the tuna.
That means you had to wring the tuna out.
It's like it's like
I was
a
like,
Corona.
you know when you have the can and you like press the lid down and the water comes out? It's that.
So Mark, when you're behind the scenes, you can see everything play out, and the food here. It's very, very specific when you're looking behind it. That this a Corona and a tuna sandwich is a Brian O'Connor special, they call it.
All right. Then I will call this drink the O'Connor Express.
What just so I have an idea, what's your you're just doing this for distraction, just because you're flighty?
I want to, well, partly because I'm flighty and I just thought it would be hilarious, but also it provides a distraction for my team to potentially make some further inroads.
Since he succeeded in that, does anyone want to do anything to benefit from the fact that your one party member is making mixed drinks?
Well, can I back up and ask a mechanical question?
Of course you can.
Mark, is that your detriment?
Yes.
Would that have involved a D4 at some point?
Probably should have, but I forgot that.
Oh, okay.
But he used it to get himself out of the action. So I'm going to say that you're all upstairs right now and you kind of lost it. So Mark is downstairs by himself. The other four of you are upstairs in one of those rooms.
Yeah, I split the party intentionally, but unintentionally.
Do we have 31st century ear communicators like the Avengers do?
Does your character sheet say you do?
My character sheet actually says a communicator.
I think you do as a scion, right?
Yeah, the plotters have info displays that keep track on other members of the team.
Yep.
And the sleeper has like it built in to their themselves. So
Their brain.
yeah.
Sleeper planners have nothing that can.
So
act as
we're in Hall A. So I'm going to use this opportunity to would we get a feeling of when we are close to the table, or
Yeah, it's going to be something inside
Okay.
Hall A.
But we need to get the keys also.
well, it could be on the open floor, right? That's a big hall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, but someone had said that all the keys were.
That's if we need to draw,
But
all the keys to the cars are in that room, but we don't
also
necessarily need them yet.
No, exactly. And I mean, there's two planners here, and a lockpick is
But didn't
in
Mark
our
say
tool
that
set.
when he got the key card from that guy that it was like he turned it into
That's for rooms in the hall.
Thankfully,
convention center.
the key card entrance also it also works for Concourse C.
don't forget your mission cards, folks. You guys all have mission cards that you could use to help make some of this a little easier.
If we wanted easy, we'd play a different game.
Accurate.
Doing a scan of this room, just like a look around at the booths, there's nothing that would scream that there would be something vintage, because that cassette, something playing a cassette would be.
In Concourse A or Hall A?
Are we in Hall A? I would assume we were in Hall A.
You're up in rooms 331 through 338. If you want to go to Hall A, someone can go reconnoiter Hall A. But no one...
let's head down to Hall A.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, actually, Chuck, are you back on your feet? Are you back to normal?
Yes. Chuck's back.
How does that penalty die work? Do I have to?
Every time you make a roll now, you have a D10 you're rolling with it. If that D10 comes up with a 1, it cancels one of your successes.
Where did absinthe disappear to?
You don't know. You smell a lot of just gross food though, and tuna with a lime downstairs though.
I am stealthy. I could probably look.
It's delicious.
Wait, what was that, Andy?
So I'm stealthy. I could go and check out the cars and try to be undercover. And
you guys want to take a peek into Hall A?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's open, in which case it's gonna be crowded, or if it's closed, in which case stealth is useful.
You step out into Hall A as a squad, and are looking into a room that's a bright lit room with heavy blasting techno music playing. Definitely no Madonna. You see members of the elite Tesla guard guarding all. Something is happening in here. And you see in the center of the room, you see on a pedestal, you see a car. Let me show you what car it is here in a second. There is a single car on the pedestal that and a sign around it that just says Fast Fury Forever. And on that pedestal is, can you see the car?
Yeah.
On the pedestal, you all see a 1993 Honda Civic EJ1.
Yeah.
Which, for weird reason, has a Tesla sticker on it, or a Tesla logo on it.
Oh, because it's probably been retrofit.
Love it.
Can I tell a lie here? Can I say that this is the room that we were in was like a staging room for the Tesla? What do you call them? The people?
The Tesla guard?
Yeah, Tesla guard. And one of them called in sick at the last minute because of something they ate the night before. And so there's one uniform.
Yes, you can definitely tell a lie for that. So there is a uniform upstairs for a Tesla guard member.
Right.
Make sure you know the Tesla guard salute.
Okay.
So yeah, so there is a when you went up there, you definitely saw that there is a single old 1993 car in the center of the room that is and you just see signs all over the place for Fast Fury Forever.
I want to put that uniform on when we go up there.
Okay.
And go. I get her down there. I'm gonna try to
Wash has
blend in.
Wash has a badge from them.
Oh,
From them or from was Wash's
No,
badge
from a congoer.
a congo?
Yeah.
Wash has
Yeah,
two
yeah.
con badges. So Andy, as soon as you walk in, all the Tesla guards do the T symbol to you.
yeah. I kind of sign.
Do you have their earpiece too, Andy?
Yeah, it's the whole setup of the.
Or you hear a sign, you hear in your earpiece, you hear a lot of chatter, but one thing is that that you hear muskrats on the move.
Hey, so as a planner, can I say that the stuff coming through that earpiece actually goes to everybody's earpiece in the group?
Sure. You like just kind of like twist time and space a little bit, and now you all hear that muskrats on the move.
Do we when we had the briefing, did we know who Elon Musk is?
You know who Elon Musk is.
Okay.
He's a very important historical figure.
Very important historical figure.
We wouldn't have the
Wasn't
planet
he just
Tesla
like really
without him.
gross?
What was that?
No, was he just this really gross guy?
He was very influential in the second space race. So do I see him?
No, you just hear he's on the move. That's all you hear. You are all at the very front of Hall A. So all the cars in Hall A are famous cars from either famous movies, but mostly famous video games. So you see mock-ups of fake cars that maybe would have appeared in like Grand Theft Auto games. You see, there is a Mario Kart in here, like a full rigged up Mario Kart. But yeah, there's some kind of, it looks like there's a combination right now of Universal has combined with Capcom, and they're going to make this Fast Fury Forever game. And
we all remember that weird time in Mario Kart history when they started putting real life cars like the 93 Honda Civic in the Mario Kart.
Maybe you're at that point.
Maybe that's the disruption.
So
Can I-
essentially, we have found a way to get in the car, see if it has the tape deck, which presumably it does.
Yeah, we don't even know
and
that's
eject
the right
the
car.
tape and get out with it. Like those are the sort of next steps that have to happen. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we have to yes. We have to find the car. We have to figure out which is the right car.
Isn't there just the one car on display in here? The Honda Civic?
There's a lot of cars in here, but the car in the middle of the room is that Honda Civic, which I should say is the only car that I have a screen cap for, so it probably means something.
And it has that Tesla sticker.
It has the Tesla sticker on it, which is very out of place.
Mm-hmm.
On a Honda Civic.
On a Honda Civic.
Back at the bar.
Or like 17 sick people right now. So the first aid crew is there from all the Amidas projections that have occurred.
I want to, we've run out of tuna cans, so I have to go get some more tuna, and I'm gonna start heading down the concourse to Concourse C where those keys for all the vehicles have been stored, because I have a feeling we're gonna need to make a quick getaway.
Okay. All right. So go ahead, Andy.
Is there a guard guarding the way into there's probably some kind of a step thing onto the platform, and there's a guard, a Tesla guard.
There are quite a few Tesla guards. There are quite a few members of the Tesla force that are
any of them
around
close enough to see the inside of the fancy car.
You can move forward. It's not that fancy, but you can move forward and try, Andy.
Yeah, I want to try to get close and find a guy that's close to where I could see the inside of the car and tell who. And it turns out that guy is just straight out of college and really into weird mixed drinks. And I tell him that there's this guy down in Concourse C selling this weird, really crazy mixed drink with.
Who are you telling this to? One of the guards?
One of the Tesla guards.
They'll let you in. You're wearing a uniform.
Oh, well,
just causing this poor guy, this poor SOB misery, making him go get some drink.
Yeah, then I'll just walk up to the car then.
All right, Andy. So let's do a little rolling to get you up to the car. It's a little weird to go right up to the car. So unless you're gonna have to do some rolling, unless you have something with your with one of your mission cards to make this easy, or a something. So
I'm quick-witted.
Okay.
And I have a disguise. I'm skilled in disguise, and I'm wearing a disguise.
That's true.
Can I use a mission card to make things easier for Andy?
You should do both. Yeah, absolutely. So what mission card do you want to use first off?
So I would love to use, I've seen this before. You recall a situation which suggests a solution to a similar situation you face now. So this really cool retrofitted car with this vintage body and incredible engine. There's actually photo opportunities for people who have who've paid extra for their con attendance or whatever to actually be able to sit in the car and get their picture taken. So you can actually get in the car in an official con capacity because of the kind of display it is.
Nice. That's awesome. All right, Andy. So she plays that card. So you get an extra die, essentially, I believe. I'm sorry, your die step goes up. So you have a die step for being quick-witted. So it's 1d8. And then the die for having been skilled at disguise, the second d8. And then this is going to bump them to d10s because of what she's using.
So I roll 2d10?
Yep.
Does it go to d12 because he is in disguise?
It would get a third d10 if he's in disguise.
Third d10. Ooh.
That's amazing.
So he's rolling 3 d10s for success, and then he's rolling another one for the wound.
D10 to see
For the wound.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll 3d10 with 40-10.
Yep.
But you got to mark which one is your wound
Oh
one.
boy. So thunderstorm outside.
So you're just rolling your dice really aggressively.
And we said one is a wound, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do I have to? Is it a certain one that has to be the wound die, or does?
Yes. You have to pick which one's a wound die. In the game, I believe how it's being released, there'll be blank wound dice to use that just have the.
Oh, crazy.
Okay. So it's not like any die cuts just a
Correct.
1.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make this red one, okay, the wound die. All right. So the wound die ended up rolled a 2, so that's safe there. And then I add them all together.
No, one each success. What's the highest success?
I have a 6, a 4, and a 2.
Okay, so I have this as being kind of a hard success because this is something you have to go deal with, and it's a little out of place, but you needed a 5 or a 6. You got the 6, so you are allowed access right up to the car. No one pays any attention to you, and yes, as was as Tree had sort of stated, there are other people waiting in line to get pictures in the car.
All right, so I'm gonna, I guess, be like one of the guys that lets the people into the car and like open the door for somebody, and let them in there to.
Are you sitting down instead?
No, I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna open the door for them, and then when they open the door for them, I'm gonna peer inside and see if the car's in there.
Inside there is a closed
tape,
cassette case. It's sitting in the cup holder, and it is a picture of, I think it's essentially it's Madonna's stomach, if I remember correctly.
The case, is there, can I tell if there's a cassette in the case, or is it an empty cassette case?
It is an empty, you have no idea if it's empty or full. It's a cassette tape.
But it's a tape, not a case.
Yes, you need the cassette tape. But the case is in there. The case is closed. There's very likely a tape in there, but you don't see the tape. You see the case.
All right. Can I pick the tape? Are we allowed to interact with these things? Is it a problem for?
No, you need. This is the adventure, Andy. You're at the very end. Grab it.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'll take the case.
All right. There's a cassette inside.
I opened it up to see if it's the right.
Open it up, and there's one that says Marc Sinclair mixtape 94.
Oh. Do we know that it?
And then as we reach Act 3, you hear a voice over the speaker saying, it says, and we have an announcement, everyone. Yes, he is here. We repeat, he is here. Everyone, give it up for Elon Musk. And Elon Musk kind of walks into the room, and he's like, he stands, and you're in the car right now, and he like walks right up to the car where you are, and he's like, yes, thank you. I can't do Elon Musk. In association with Tesla and everything we do for the world and Universal Studios, we are here to celebrate Fast Fury Forever. And everyone starts clapping. And he's like, and a special guest to show off the very car that he drove in the very first movie. You all know him. You all love him. Vin Diesel from Fast and the Furious. And Vin Diesel kind of comes in the room, and he's waving, and he's like high-fiving people. And he's wearing kind of a tight-fitting shirt. But you all look for a moment, and you can see that in his tight-fitting shirt, in a pocket, you see the outline of a cassette tape.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're going to go into Act 3, which is that was the twist. We're in the climax of the story here as Vin Diesel, whose real name is Marc Sinclair, if you didn't know.
I didn't know. That's really cool.
His real name is Marc Sinclair, and it all worked together. Brian O'Connor is the one character from the Fast and the Furious series who's only served crustless tuna fish sandwiches when he went to meet Dominic Toretto's sister. And when Dominic Toretto meets Brian O'Connor, and they go back to his house, he can say, you have any beer you want as long as it's Corona. And it all makes sense to you now. This is just a Fast and the Furious thing. That was because it gave me an excuse to do Fast and the Furious in a role-playing setting. So anyway.
So now we have to steal the tape.
He still has the cassette tape in his pocket, and he's in the room.
So Vin always has an entourage with him.
He does.
And I'm going to infiltrate the entourage. I'm just going to slip into that pack that there's like a half dozen people that are following just behind the security detail.
Okay. So you're going to slip in. You're going to try to be unseen. I need you to give me a roll for that, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
Meanwhile, Mark, so you get to Hall C and the rooms adjacent, and there are all these keys in here, and they're organized by Hall A and Hall B. So Which keys do you want?
I am looking through, and since I don't, well, do we have a way to communicate back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would know then that I'm looking for a Honda Civic. And so I'm going to look for the keys to that specific car, as well as any other like notable vehicles that might come in handy.
You find lots of car keys in here. You find keys to essentially the van from the A-Team. You find keys to a DeLorean. You find keys to pretty much every other car. You can all the keys to every Mario Kart replica is here. However, the keys to the Honda Civic are not here.
Oh no!
Hey, we don't have to steal the car. We have to steal
Yeah,
the tape.
I was just gonna ask, like, why do
Well,
we need the keys?
We might want to.
The fastest way to get the
That's
tape
fair.
out of there is in the car.
I
We
mean,
may need to
drive a
kidnap.
car out of the convention. I feel like
We may
walking
need
out
to
of the
kidnap
convention
Vin
center
Diesel.
is probably faster.
I'm just saying, we may need to kidnap Vin Diesel, and that'll be a lot easier in a car.
Will it? In a convention center on the second floor?
Have you
This
never
is
seen
Fast and
any of the
Furious.
movies?
We're not on the second floor. We're on the ground floor.
Okay.
You're
Your
on
car's
I
gonna-
You're
thought
gonna
we were on
lie.
a higher floor.
you're on the second floor, although there's an easy access ramp to get you out in the first floor.
Also, this
Into
isn't
the
even-
tunnel.
This isn't
I mean-
even a lie. The David Lawrence Convention Center has a large glass wall on the entire one side of it.
That is true.
That's
That's not a lie. That is true.
I mean, we have to be on the ground floor because otherwise, how would you get the cars in?
Oh, there's lots. Yeah, convention centers have like huge elevators and stuff.
Yep.
I used to work for anyway.
I will grab.
Ray's finger is up. Ray, what are you saying?
Well, I need to roll, right?
You do, sir. And your
Okay.
rolls are all up a step because we're in the climax.
Oh, okay. So I'm likable. Can I use that?
Of course. So you can say you're now using a D10 then for that trait.
Can I use my quick wits?
No, my likable is a D10, so that goes to a 12.
Yes. Andy, what was you're gonna help out, Ray?
Can I? Because this is Mark Sinclair's mixtape. Must be music that he likes. So I want to put this tape in the cassette tape player and like crank it up so he's in a good mood and distracted by the tape. Music that he likes.
Hold that thought, please.
Hold on. I'm still
I-
working at my roll. Can we hold on 1 second?
Let him roll, and then Andy can put that tape in.
Is my wound still a D10, or does that also go up?
Is your what? Your
My
wound is still a
wound.
D10. No.
Okay, rolling. Double fours.
All right. So you make it. So all you're doing is trying to blend in, right?
Yeah, so I'm now part of that entourage that's like right behind.
You're not trying to.
him.
I'm going to say it's an average difficulty, so you're fine. You are blended in. You haven't interacted with them otherwise. You're blended in with the entourage. You are now about 20 feet behind Vin Diesel.
Right, but I'm closer than anybody else can get.
You and Andy are about the same distance. Vin Diesel
Yeah.
is walking up to the car right now, and
Right.
in the car with the cassette tape.
Got it.
Andy, you're putting that tape in.
Yeah, I want to play the tape.
Well, one of our specific mission objectives was to not let anyone hear the tape.
But that's not the tape. That's not the right tape. That's why it's being played.
It's the
Mixtape.
decoy tape.
Maybe it's the decoy tape.
Yeah.
We'll find out soon.
Okay.
Also,
if we unmake reality, we'll see.
I'm going to do it here and say it's too late. Andy's already put the tape in, and Andy, the tape. It goes in, and you're just kind of hoping upon hope that this tape is some kind of distraction, and you just know whatever this is whatever in 1994 Vin Diesel was just jamming to, and you pop this tape in and you crank it, and all you hear is, "You say I only hear what I want to
Here we
do.
go.
You say I talk I'm so.
Isn't that a Geico commercial?
I thought what I felt was simple, and I thought that I don't belong." And Vin Diesel's just looking at everyone like this, like he's like super surprised, like his favorite song, which no one knew was Lisa Loeb's "Stay," is playing, and he's just like he's being transported back to the 90s, back when he was doing like shark monster action figure commercials. and he's like, it's his pre-Saving Private Ryan and Boiler Room days, and he's like backing away from everything, very shaken by hearing that album play.
So if the car was able to play the cassette, that means the battery had to be turned on, which means the keys are in the ignition, right?
Yeah, the keys are in the ignition.
Again, we're not trying to steal the car.
We don't have the tape yet.
Since
You
no one has
get Vin in the car, you drive away.
Vin Diesel looks at the car, thinks something is off, and he runs. He just takes off and leaps off the thing, and he is now running down towards Hall B.
I am right after him.
Yes, Ray, you're running.
Well, I'm part of the entourage. I said, Vin, follow me.
I'm gonna require, unless you're gonna lie somehow to have this make sense.
Well, I'm definitely doing. I have persuasion and deception, and I'm likable, and I'm part of the entourage.
That's gonna be 2 D10s, sir.
A
D12 and a D10. A D12 and a D10.
Well, my persuasion is a D10.
Okay, so it's a D12 now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna wait. Hold on, before you roll. I have. What the hell is it?
You have lots
I have a card called Goal.
Okay.
If you and the rest of the players believe you have achieved your side goal, which was the keys,
okay,
you can re-roll an action and bump up the die. So Ray, if you don't succeed here,
and I'm going to say this is very hard to do this. So we're at a 7 or 8 difficulty here, essentially.
Okay.
Keep up with Vin Diesel, an actor.
Vin Diesel. He's
No. I'm getting him to follow me. He doesn't need, I don't need to keep up with him. He needs to keep up with me.
You know what? Can I play a second card?
You're getting both cards?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I'm gonna say so. This is we've got to pull a con, and it says recall a type of con, caper, or scheme with a specific name that you come up with, which will help for the current situation. All scenes for related to the con bump up the die if you can effectively but discreetly convey the con to others. They enjoy the benefit. So I'm gonna say, into the earpiece or whatever, I'm gonna say, oh, we're running an underground railroad. Meet me outside Concourse C to Ray.
I studied for the test. I know the exact route.
Did you roll yet?
I haven't yet, but I don't know what dice thing we're up to. If we use
We're up to
I
think we're to a 20, a 12, and a 10.
20, 12, and a 10. Got it. That is not.
I can't even keep track of where we're at this point. There's so many, there's so much switcheroos going on here. But wait, there's more.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Okay, so my highest roll is a 12.
Is that enough?
Yes. Vin Diesel's like, I'm gonna follow you just like we're in the movie, and he starts coming after you.
We'll play D&D after this. Come on.
Sounds great. I'm Vin Diesel. Okay. Maitreyi, you think you had something you were gonna do? You're watching right now Vin Diesel run off right now with Tommy.
Yeah, no, I was gonna slow him down, but now that this is working, I'm not doing anything to stop it. I'm actually
Elon Musk is activating Tesla Force right now, and they're all getting their gear.
Oh, their radios are all jammed. All their communications are jammed. There's no way for them to communicate.
I mean, listen,
with each
for you
other.
to jam all their communication, you are really gonna have to rip reality quite a bit. So I need you to resist this one. So you're gonna have to roll a D6.
Oh, actually, can I use my revelation?
Yes.
Okay, revelation is third act only. You reveal a turn in the story of your own. Something involved in the mission was not as it appeared. So, Tesla Force had actually a bunch of new communicators they were using for this mission. Turned out they completely screwed up. The communicators themselves they just don't work. They've never worked.
They were all purchased by Amazon, and Jeff Bezos was not happy with it. Yeah, it's fine. And so the it's fun. The Bezos activation goes off, and like, all their communicators just have a picture of Jeff Bezos' bald head on it right now. And none of them can get their communicate. They can't coordinate. They just can't do it.
Yes, so that's my contribution.
Ray, where are you leading? Where are you leading him to?
Right.
Ray, where are you leading Vin Diesel to?
So Mark, you told me
To meet me in Concourse C.
to meet in Concourse C. So I know that there's like an emergency exit that gets me to B and then to C and then into the concourse.
So you're running that way. Mark, Andy, Tree, and Will, where are you guys?
So I'm following when Tommy takes off with Vin. I'm going to kind of follow at a distance, playing keep up, because I was expecting Tesla Force to run after them, and I was going to waylay them on the way. But it looks like Tesla Force is really confused for some reason.
Yeah, they're very distracted.
So
Tree,
I'm following that group, but kind of at a distance.
Okay.
I want to grab the tape out of the tape deck.
Okay.
And then also go to C.
You're all sort of chasing in this direction. Mark?
So I'm coming from the opposite direction, and I start running towards where Ray is leading Vin Diesel, and I want to tackle Vin Diesel like an obsessed fangirl, and in the process of like taking him down, I want to pick his pocket.
All right, cool. This is all right. So what do you have to help you on this rolling, or what are you gonna lie to do to help you on this rolling?
You
lying or you rolling?
I am charming and persuasive. So I am leaning into my my feminine wiles as I tackle him, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Vin Diesel! I love you so much, and I'm like kissing him all over, and I'm like, whoop, and I grab the tape.
All right. Okay, go ahead. Give me the roll.
That's gonna be what, like a D?
For the record, those are not feminine wilds.
Nothing says feminine and sexy like getting slammed to the ground.
I didn't say I was gonna knock him to the ground. Just
You're tackling him.
Yeah.
So we need to discuss how many people actually are and.
You're gonna have it's D10s. You have 2 of them.
A 9 and a 6.
All right, so I would say
I'm really sorry. After the Fast and Furious reveal, this is all just gone totally sideways. I'm sorry.
Totally no, I knew where this was gonna go. I knew how we were headed. I knew where we were going. As soon as Lisa Loeb showed up.
Lisa Loeb comes out. It's
all downhill after Lisa Loeb in 1994. All right, so I would say it's a hard success, which is a 5 or 6. You beat a 6. So you have in your hand the copy of the cassette tape, and he sort of locks eyes with you, and he noticed you take it. He has some kind of connection to it. It's like, no, don't play that.
What? And I
can't play that tape.
Can I throw the tape to Ray?
Yeah, Ray can catch it.
All right.
Guys don't understand what's going to happen if you play that tape. You can't play that tape. Ray, you're muted.
Don't worry, Vin, we're family. And I make a down the fire escape.
He just watches you run off with the tape, and he's just like, they're going to find out the truth about themselves, and they're not going to like it. So you go down the escape, and you leaving the zone? Are you getting out of here? Is that?
Yeah, I'm in the. I guess I'm in the streets around. Where is that? Yeah. I guess where the expo writing is.
All right, so you go outside. You run outside, and the rest of you all, I guess, are you following Ray? Or are you staying with Vin?
I'm sending a message to our comm saying,
got the tape?
Yeah. I was gonna come up with something witty, but sure.
If we're all following,
the package is in the mailbox.
Was that true?
I said if we're all following, I'll make and going to the fire escape. I will after we've all got off it. I will the hinges up top, like or like the wells or whatever, kind of give way, and the fire escape kind of clatters, and there's no way for people to
No
follow.
one can chase you, and you know you hear a few bangs on the door. Like, wait, let me come. And you look back and you know it's not, you can't let him come with you. He's got to stay here. He's not a liar. He's stuck to this world. And as you like run down the fire escape, you know, really only Ash hears, you just hear someone singing like, life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. I hear you call my name. My name is Vin Diesel. And yeah, you get the tape. And that's it. We win. Woo!
No one wins. No one wins in this.
I definitely feel like I won.
If you had communicated with him and talked to him, he would have told you he listened to the tape and he found out that he's immortal. So that would have been a whole different story. So anyway,
Then we're after an Imagine Dragon CD.
what was that? Well, I hope you had a good time. It was a short demo of the game, and thank you all for playing. Anyone who watched, thank you all for viewing this hot mess of a game. To Monte Cook and Monte Cook Games, I guess you kind of knew what you were getting into when you let me run this. So congrats. But for everyone who's watching this, go check out the primer. I'll put a link to that. It's on DriveThruRPG. It's free. And then check out the Kickstarter for Stealing Stories for the Devil. The Kickstarter is called The Devil Made Us Do It. There's a lot of awesome components to it. And that's that. So have a great day and stuff. And I will see you all in the movies.
The movie.
In the movies.
In the movies.